Good morning, all my teachers and mentors. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity for my presentation under Research Conclaves 2020 Students Ongoing Research in Education. Title of my paper is Constructions and Standardization, Administrative Perception and Attitude Scale towards Apprenticeship Embedded Degree Program. Myself, Jitendranath Gorai, PhD in Education, Central University of Gujarat, under the supervision of Professor Dr. G.R. Angadi, School of Education, Central University of Gujarat. We all know regarding research paper, abstract is most important. Now I will discuss what is abstract in this paper. The current study intends to know the administrative perception and attitude scale in the context of an apprenticeship embedded degree program from an Indian perspective. The study objective is to construct and standardization of the administrative perception and attitude towards apprenticeship scale APATAS for the study of perception and attitude of stakeholders towards apprenticeship embedded degree program. The researcher used a 5-point Likert scale: strongly agree, agree, undecided, disagree, strongly disagree. 52 administrators from higher secondary school, colleges, universities in West Bengal Radha region were given 21 item of the statement during the preparation process. For the item analysis technique, the researcher used expert opinion, R-value analysis, Konsberg alpha test, conformity factor analysis, and split-up method for the standardizations on the association with the various dimensions and which item was related to AEDP. The final version of the tools administrator perception and attitude towards apprenticeship scale under bracket APATAS included 25 items with appropriate instructions. Convert alpha was 0.734 and split up method was found to be 0.82, indicating the adequate for the study. Phase validity, content validity, and reliability of the scale were demonstrated. These tools benefit for the postgraduate students, instructor, and policymaker involved in the perception in the apprenticeship program. Here I can also include uh, five. Here can also include the five uh, keynotes: the perception, attitudes, construction, apprenticeship scale, administrator, and standardization and reliability. In the next slide, introduction is the degree apprenticeship, which is play the essential role in our higher education for decades, is the one of the critical shift from different education system. University Grant Commission launched Apprenticeship Embedded Degree Program under bracket AEDP on the July 14, 2022. UGC guidelines allow to higher education institution to include the apprenticeship and internship in the all UGC designed UG degree program. A country growth will be good only when can create the favorable environment for all classes of the people in the all aspects such as education, health, economy, social life, and cultural status, among others. Policymakers have long recognized the structural skill adaptation of this response to the technological changes in the rising the global economical parameter. As a result, each nation's contributed budget for this research for the various budget, ensuring that the is the research in development flow. Arun Kumar quoted from Arun Kumar 2016. Researchers thought that to create the measuring scale AEDP for the administrator play a critical role among those stakeholders. As a consequence, the academic collaborated to develop the administrator perceptions towards apprenticeship skill and administrator attitude towards apprenticeship skill. As a result, adopting research procedure for the data collection, standardization, instructions for measuring perception attitudes may be grateful benefit for the such investigations. Objective of the study to construct and standardize the administrator perception and attitude towards apprenticeship skill APATAS for the study of perception and attitude of stakeholders towards apprenticeship embedded degree program. For the study, researcher will select the methodology. This research was developmental study quoted from Khan et al. 2019. The creation of tools is the essential component of the research study. Arun Kumar 2016. The sample was distributed randomly. 52 administrators from the higher secondary school, colleges and universities in the West Bengal in Radar region participated. 40.38% administrator from school, 42.30 administrator from college, and 17.30 administrator from various universities. Male represent 67% and female represent 33% in this research. The study area of this research, the current study was conducted in the Radha region in West Bengal. Figure 1, this is the figure 1 also be indicated here. This is the radar region of West Bengal state, included the Birbhum district, Purba Bardhaman, Paschim Bardhaman, northwestern positions, Jharkhand, Bankura, Purulia, the part of the main radar region in our West Bengal. From the researcher collect data from this area, higher secondary school administrator, college administrator and university administrator. The next stage is the most important, the step of the development of the research tool. Here this we can include the flow chart. The first is the conceptual of this tool. Second is the preparation of this item. Third is the pre-layout of the session, pilot study, process of the item analysis, final draft of these tools, and the last is standardizations under the reliability, validity, and norms. The tool conceptualizations in the first stage is crucial. The researcher established objective after the setting of the study topic. The researcher decided demographic region, population sample size, appropriate research instrument of the gathering data, and carry out of its research based on the specific objective. It is appropriate not the available. If its tool is not available, then uh, the researcher think the self development and standardization of these tools. And the collaborative with the research tools expert, investigator, researcher create an outline of self-crafted and research instrument of this data collection for the study. Now, here the researcher collaborated, developed the tools, the administrator perception towards apprenticeship skill and administrator attitude towards apprenticeship skill. Because the administrator perception and attitude, researcher here the check out the perception and attitude towards apprenticeship skill. That's why firstly the researcher divided the two scale. The preparation of this item, the researcher consulted with the different professional from the different universities and which is belong from the education department. Here, those are working such as the Aligarh Muslim University, NCERT, Central University of Gujarat, South Bihar Central University, Punjab Central University, Delhi University, Vishvarti, Guru Khasidas Central University, Guru Gobind Singh Indravat University, etc. These all professional tools expert always help me to develop and critically examine for the final stage of this research tools. The researcher developed here the 41 items at first, and for the checking the administrator perception and attitudes concerning AUDP. There the 22 items involve the perception for the perception checking, and the 19 item was gauging for the attitudes. Here also separated into the 7 dimensions. Here the expert guidance, the 5-point Likert scale also be used in this research, and 5 point also be research in this use because we can find out different lots of research. This is the most suitable for this uh, method for the Likert scale. And table 1, table 2, table 3 in the paper, full paper details I will explain. I was already explained in detail. Here we can put here the uh, put at the table. Here the negative diamond and positive diamonds. What is the score? The scoring key for this that the strongly agree. The positive diamond is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For the negative statement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here the total 7 dimension: the awareness, need or motive, futuristic thinking, socially concern. This is the 4 dimension. It's related to the perception and the evaluate policy, truthfulness, goal oriented. This is the related to the apprenticeship for the attitude. And total here the 41 statement. And the first preparation and pre-layout session. Under this pre-layout session, following the pre-layout session, the considering the opinion and recommendation for the researcher and professional, 10 out of 21 statement were eliminated. 12 members analysis and questionnaire statement: 1 professor, 2 associate professor, 4 assistant professor, 2 GRF scholar, and 3 PhD scholar. They were asked to rate the acceptability of this uh, language. Uh, the scale was revised, recognized, and response their the input and recommendation. Based on the observation and suggestion of the expert, the 10 statement and item were removed, and 31 statement were kept. There the next in the next slide we can also be included here the total 10 statement was eliminated, and now is 31 statement, and the positive is 20 statement and negative is 21 statement. Pilot study in this research institute is divided into 2 components by the researcher. Section 1: user personal information about the administrator such as name, working institution name, gender, area, stream, WhatsApp number. This is all optional, and this kind of section 1 also be used in different research like Kant et al. Also be 2021 also be used its study, and they read the administrator through administrator attitude regarding apprenticeship appropriate degree course into the section 2 of the questionnaire. For the pilot study, investigation created the questionnaire on Google Form, and it is delivered through the mail and WhatsApp to secondary school administrator, principal, headmaster, headmistress, and TIC, college and university administrator department, HOD, deed, register also in the under of the Rajasthan region in West Bengal. Only 52 out of 84 administrators were connected respond on how to complete this questionnaire, and clear direction assurance were given. This is the pilot study was conducted the 2 months and 15 days. Since the data now is accessible for the item analysis, and the entire database was rated the positive and negative statement score after the data collection. The procedure of the item analysis, we know the various methods for the better item analysis. Here the Prashant Kumari and Rajesh Kumar 2021 use these 3 methods like the uh, Kolmogorov symptom test, T value, Kornsberg alpha. According to Arun Kumar also 2016 investigate the R value with the item. Okay, so here the researcher also be used for the item analysis the R value which is greater than 3 and counts for alpha value is the which is greater which is belong from 7 to 8 is acceptable for this study which value is 0.7 to 0.8 is acceptable, and this is the R value. I can R value is find out for this Excel from the Excel, uh, and count for alpha. The researcher utilized Janvi version 2.3.2 SPSS, the Janvi through the use of Janvi software. Here I can put the table for the total the 31 statement is here, and the sum the 10 item was rejected, like the number 1 number 2 is rejected, and 31 also be rejected, 30 is rejected, as the selected and rejected item, and I can also be included here the count bar alpha value and mean value also. The final draft of these tools, the researcher built the draft self-made research tool after the R value technique and confer alpha test. There was the scatter dimension. There are the 7 dimensions for APTAS and AATPTAS, apprenticeship perception and administrator perception towards apprenticeship skill, and apprenticeship administrator attitude towards apprenticeship skill. Here also we the 7 dimension, the awareness. I also be included, researcher also be included the coded also, awareness for code A, need and motives for code NM, like that, and total item is 25, the final draft, and the positive item is 15 and negative item is 10. The standardization of these tools, the standardization is crucial at the final stage. In the different various studies we can also be find out different kind of standardization process. uh, Here the researcher can use for this standardization the reliability validity norms for this combination of these tools for the standardization of the validity process. Reliability of this item, according to Tablet, the confer alpha and determine the scale reliability. So here the researcher also be used the confer alpha for the item analysis, and also we use the split hub method. Split hub method, that the split hub approach also be used that determine the tool's reliability of coefficient, which was 0.82, which is valid. Okay, so that's why, and these I also be included two approaches for the reliability of this item. Also, researchers use the conformity factor analysis. This is the this also be used by Amos software. Amos, through the use of Amos software. Here the APATES, administrator perception attitude towards apprenticeship scale, and this is the to separate this is the perception and this is the attitude measurement. I can also be divided the 4 dimension and the 3 dimension, and each dimension under a number of question like AA, awareness, apprenticeship, and this is the total 25 number of statement or item, and this is the different kind of the according to dimension wise the question coded, the item coded. Norm of the scale, the researcher provide the group-wide recommendation for APATAS scale has been maximum score is 125 and minimum score is 25. A person which is score less than 40 on average has opposite viewpoint and attitude about the AEDP. Uh, AEDP, a 40% to 60% score indicate the natural, neutral or natural perception and attitude towards AEDP, while the score is more than 60 indicate the favorable perception and attitude towards AEDP. General instruction is the research resource is available the postgraduate and research scholar students also. Positive comment receive 5 4 3 2 1, and where the negative statement receive the 1 2 3 4 5. The APATAS tools will be help contraction and social science research. Is the maximum score is uh, 125 and minimum score is 25. The test assess the administrator perception attitude regarding apprenticeship program. In the last part, the conclusion, the APATAS tools were created not the add to burden our students, but assist them to planning and understand the reliability of the students towards apprenticeship, who is the goal of professional development of an institution or any company use the students motive to taking the corrective action for growth as well as the advantage of the learner. India is a developing nation. The research is the crucial component of the country's socio-economic and cultural development, so that apprenticeship embedded degree program also be important in the present dimension of the new educational era. It also strengthens the bond between the apprenticeship trainee and apprenticeship organizations. As a result, the researcher developed these tools to examine the administrator perception and attitude about these guidelines. These instructions will also be helpful others researchers who intend to do research. It teach how to make tools and how important they will in future studies. Academic professors, research supervisor, and policymaker can use this instrument better to understand the instructor administrative attitudes and perception of this research. Thank you. Thank you, all my mentors, respected mentors. Please give your valuable suggestion for better way and better understanding of my research. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is the reference. These are all the reference. Thank you. Thank you for attention.